Okay, today is October 31st, 2016, and we're watching the Northeast Pacific Water Vapor Loop. And this is going to be just a short video. Basically, what we're watching here is a developing hurricane force system right here. And what's happening is that a transmitter is generating a blockade right here. We're watching that happen right here. This dark area is a blockade, and that is going to affect the jet stream flow, which is right here. So the weather pattern is going to change according to the people on television that are paid to report the weather. And we're supposed to have warmer weather by Wednesday, much warmer weather. And we see that there is a low right here moving through Northern California. There is some manipulation right here. We can see that right angle, the transmitter generated right angle, which is splitting up all this flow, this moisture field. If we go to the infrared loop, the rainbow map, we can see the separation there from this area of moisture and this low that is moving through the area. But the big news really is what's happening here, and that is going to set up a blockade and prevent this weather and this storm from moving into the state, California. And so we are expecting Santa Ana winds, we're told. And so we'll have to see how that unfolds. But basically, this is the beginnings of that operation. We're seeing this setting up, and that will redirect the jet stream. Right now, we've got a very large channel which has been built in, which is separating all this moisture, all these thunderstorms from this very large jet stream flow here. And this developing hurricane force system. Now the jet stream map right here is showing some disruptions right here just off of California, and that's where all that transmitter activity is going on right now. Let's go back to the big map again, and we can see that right here we have a disruption, this right angle transmitter generated blockade, which is separating all this moisture. We have two moisture flows here, this one here and that one there, and that is this channel right here is preventing all this from feeding into that vortex. We can see that. Now tomorrow, looking at this flow up close, we can get a much better view here what's happening. So we've got this transmitter generated separation going on here, this electronic fence that is preventing all this moisture here from feeding that low right there as it moves through the area. And then we have this happening here. This is all being manufactured and built in, installed, and that will redirect this jet stream flow. So we are expecting a big change in the weather. The cloudy, cool fall weather is going to end. My earlier video today demonstrated the chemtrail, the timing, the specific timing of the chemtrail spraying over the moisture field that would otherwise deliver some rain. I was watching also the thunderheads that were developing around the area were being, I believe they're hitting these with microwaves. They're targeting the thunderheads with microwaves, and I watch these thunderheads collapse, and we can see that happening. If you keep an eye on these thunderheads that develop, you can see them collapse. They fall apart. Now thunderheads look very distinct. They have very spherical shapes. They rise up, they billow, and when they're hit with microwave, they collapse. And it's very apparent to see that. If you have a camera, you can run a time lapse, take a video of that, and run it in fast, forward it 2 or 3 or 4 times, fast forward, and you can see what actually happens. So that's what I was watching today. We had a lot of chemtrail haze that stopped any chance of rain from the residual moisture moving in. Now, right now, we can see that we have a very large area of moisture moving in. LA's right down here. So by tomorrow morning, we're going to see more chemtrails. We've got this flow right here, which is sort of moving to the southeast, but we have all this right here. And some of this may move into LA. And so that being the case, we will see the jets out preparing the skies with the chemtrail mix, and that will again prevent any opportunity for rain. We have to have two things for rain: moisture and lift. And the chemtrail aerosols prevent the atmospheric lift. Now, I don't know where the solar radiation management argument comes from. I don't know who came up with that and how, what the findings are that qualify that as a legitimate argument. I'd like to know more about that. But all of the research, the experiments that I've done prove that there's only one reason why these are sprayed, and that's to affect the relative humidity levels and to prevent precipitation from incoming moisture fields. So if anybody out there knows more about this solar radiation management argument, I'd like to know more about that. It doesn't seem to prove out. They're spraying chemtrails all year long. In the winter time, there's no reason. In other words, the argument doesn't seem to hold any water when the jets are out spraying in January and February and March, which is where we see the most spraying, actually, is in that period of time over Southern California. And so solar radiation management, there's no need for solar radiation management in January and February and March. The temperatures around here are in the 50s and 60s, maybe 70 degrees. And if a storm comes our way, then we see the high pressure pumped up, and we may see a 90 degree or 92 degree day in January and February. That happened all last year. But again, the chemtrails are sprayed first, and then we have the hot, dry weather. That's the order, always. If the rain is allowed to move in, we have cool, rainy weather. If the chemtrails are sprayed, we have a drying condition. The relative humidity drops, and these clouds dissipate. They go away, except for the chemtrail haze. And what do we have? We have hot, dry weather. And that's the pattern. And that does not fit with any solar radiation management argument that I could support. So anyway, that's that. Let's carry on. Here is the surface analysis map for the Pacific. We have a developing gale right here. This is the low that's moving over the California coast right now. We have a low right out here. This is a developing hurricane force system moving towards the west coast. And I believe this is the reason they're setting up this blockade right now in the maps. Let's take another look right here. And that is going to redirect all this moisture and reroute the jet stream. We'll have to see this unfold in the next couple of days, so we'll keep an eye on all that. The MODIS Today map, let's take a look at that. Very, very heavy chemtrail spraying all day, starting off early in the morning. Here's Los Angeles right here. As we pan around, we can see some very, very heavy aerosols. This gray crap here, this stuff running diagonally, is all chemtrail haze. This stuff was probably sprayed 2 or 3 hours before this shot was taken. But as we can see through the this layer of chemtrail haze, we see these natural, beautiful natural cumulus clouds right here. This brilliant white beneath the surface of this chemtrail haze right here. So again, there's a reason why this stuff is sprayed at 40 and 45,000 feet. And there's a reason why the jets that are doing the spraying never show up on the flight tracker websites, or can be found on the aircraft frequencies on the AM band. Okay, there's a reason for all that. Look at these beautiful clouds all over the place. Now, if this stuff was not sprayed, we would have seen rain. Really nice fall rain. Okay, so there it is. Chemtrails are all over. All right, here's the pressure maps. We have the sea level pressure map. We can see the very low pressure here, and we've got some high pressure right all through this area. High pressure out here, and this big low up here, which is moving to the north, I believe. Now, currently, the I don't think I gave the stats, but right now at 10 or rather 11:15 p.m. we have a barometric pressure of 29.95. That's dropped. And of course, we had two, quote, storms, quote unquote, move through. We had higher barometric pressures when those storms were moving through, of 30.05, roughly in that range, 30.02 to 30.05, as those low pressure systems were moving through. And as they've left, we now see that the pressure drops down to 29.95. Current temperature is 50 degrees, about 50.5. The humidity, relative humidity, is 87%, and the dew point is 46 degrees. Okay, let's look at the 500 millibar map, and we see a low right here. This is moving in. We've got a blockade just on the other side of this. We've got the jet stream moving in, which is going to be blockaded. We've got high pressure all down here. 300 millibar map shows the low pressure area here, and we have some squiggly lines showing up again. And so the big news is that jet stream that's going to be cut off right out here. Now here's the SSEC map, the water vapor map. We can get an idea of what's happening here. See that blockade building in? That's being installed by a transmitter right here. And that will redirect all this jet stream flow down to the south, right down this way. And this will continue to advance, and this will completely block the flow into California. All right, we'll keep an eye on that, and we will do another update tomorrow. Okay, so that's it.